It was a bright and peaceful morning in the small mountain village. Most of the villagers were still tucked away in their beds, but one young man named Liam was already up and about, rushing through his morning routine. Liam was a hard-working business owner in the village, running a popular cafe. He prided himself on providing excellent service and delicious food to his customers, but lately he had been feeling overwhelmed and scattered. There were so many details to juggle: managing employees, ordering supplies, keeping the books, coming up with new menu items, marketing the business. His to-do list seemed to grow longer by the day, and he often found himself stressed and distracted, struggling to stay focused on any one task. As Liam hurried through the streets, coffee in hand, he passed by the ancient monastery that sat atop the highest hill in the village. He paused for a moment, gazing up at the impressive stone structure. He had walked by the monastery countless times, but today something compelled him to climb the winding path up to its entrance. Liam pushed open the heavy wooden doors and stepped inside the cool, quiet sanctuary. The familiar scent of incense filled the air, and the stained glass windows cast colorful patterns of light across the stone floor. Liam took a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over him, if only for a moment. As he moved further into the monastery, Liam noticed an elderly monk sitting cross-legged on a cushion, his eyes closed in meditation. Liam approached him hesitantly. "Excuse me, pardon the intrusion," Liam said. "I hope I'm not disturbing you." The monk's eyes opened and he fixed Liam with a serene gaze. "Not at all, my son," he replied in a soft, soothing voice. "Welcome to our humble abode. What brings you here today?" Liam wasn't entirely sure why he had come. I'm not sure, to be honest," he admitted. "I was just passing by and something compelled me to come up here. I've been feeling a bit lost and overwhelmed lately, and I suppose I was hoping to find some clarity." The monk nodded knowingly. "I see. Please, have a seat." He gestured to the cushion across from him. Liam sat down, feeling a bit self-conscious. "I own a cafe in the village," he explained. "It's been going well, but lately I've been struggling to stay focused and on top of everything. There are just so many things to worry about. The finances, keeping my employees happy, coming up with new menu ideas, marketing the business. It all feels like too much sometimes." The monk listened intently, his expression serene. "Tell me, Liam," he said after a moment, "when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing on your mind?" Liam paused to consider the question. "Well, I suppose it's usually a mental checklist of all the things I need to do that day. Open the cafe, greet the early customers, check the inventory, review the schedule, go over the books, and so on. I'm always thinking about the next task, the next item on the to-do list." The monk nodded. "And when you are working at the cafe, what occupies your thoughts?" Well, I'm usually thinking about how to keep the customers happy, whether the food is being prepared properly, if the staff is handling everything smoothly. I'm constantly monitoring the flow of the day, making sure everything is running efficiently." "And in the evenings, when you return home, what then?" the monk asked. Liam sighed. "In the evenings, I try to unwind, but even then my mind is still racing. I'll be sitting on the couch trying to relax, but I'll be thinking about all the things I didn't get done that day, or worrying about what I need to do tomorrow." The monk considered Liam's words. "It seems, my son, that your mind is perpetually occupied with the past, the present, and the future. You are constantly thinking about what has been, what is, and what might be. There is no moment of true stillness or presence." Liam nodded ruefully. "That's exactly right. I feel like I'm always rushing from one thing to the next, never fully present in the moment. I know it's not healthy, but I can't seem to help it. There's always something that needs my attention." The monk nodded sagely. "Tell me, Liam, have you ever considered the true value of focus?" Liam furrowed his brow. "The value of focus? I suppose I understand the importance of focus in running a business, being able to stay on task, prioritize effectively, and not get distracted. But beyond that, I'm not sure I fully grasp the deeper significance of it." "Focus is not merely a practical skill, my son," the monk explained. "It is a gateway to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. When we are truly focused, we are fully present in the moment, fully engaged with the task at hand. We are not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, but simply being. The monk paused, his gaze steady and serene. Do you ever find yourself rushing through a meal, barely tasting the food, because your mind is already on the next item on your to-do list? Or have you ever arrived at your destination, only to realize you have no memory of the journey because your thoughts were elsewhere the entire time? Liam nodded slowly. Yes, I can relate to that. It happens more often than I'd like to admit. These are the consequences of a mind that is perpetually scattered, always grasping at the next thing. The monk said, we rob ourselves of the richness of the present moment, the simple joys of being fully engaged in the task at hand. And in doing so, we miss out on so much of what makes life truly meaningful. Liam felt a pang of recognition at the monk's words. You're right, he admitted. I can't even remember the last time I truly savored a meal or was fully present during a conversation with a friend. I'm always thinking about what's next, what I need to do, what I haven't done yet. The monk nodded sympathetically. It is a common affliction in today's fast-paced world, my son. We are bombarded with constant distractions, endless to-do lists, and a relentless pressure to always be productive. But true fulfillment and happiness cannot be found in this perpetual state of busyness and distraction. Liam felt a sense of clarity beginning to dawn on him. So what is the solution? How do I break free from this cycle of constant preoccupation? The monk smiled gently. The solution, Liam, lies in the cultivation of focus, not the kind of focus that is driven by anxiety or a desire for productivity, but a focus that is rooted in presence, in mindfulness, in a deep appreciation for the here and now. He paused, his eyes sparkling with wisdom. Tell me, when was the last time you truly savored a moment? The taste of a delicious meal, the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a loved one's embrace. Liam thought for a moment, his brow furrowed in concentration. I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've truly been present in those kinds of moments. I'm always rushing, always thinking about the next thing. The monk nodded. And therein lies the crux of the issue, my son. We are so consumed by the endless cycle of doing that we forget how to simply be. We miss out on the richness and beauty of the present moment because our minds are always elsewhere. He leaned forward slightly, his gaze intensifying. But focus, true focus, has the power to change all of that. When we are fully present, fully engaged with the task at hand, we unlock a deeper level of awareness, a heightened sense of appreciation for the world around us. Liam listened intently, his mind reeling with the implications of the monk's words. But how do I cultivate this kind of focus? He asked. How do I break free from this constant state of distraction and preoccupation? The monk smiled serenely. It begins with a simple practice, the practice of mindfulness, of being fully present in each moment without judgment or expectation, simply observing the flow of your thoughts and sensations as they arise. He gestured around the tranquil monastery. This is the very foundation of our way of life here. We have learned to quiet the endless chatter of the mind, to turn our attention inward and find a deep sense of peace and presence. Liam nodded, feeling a glimmer of hope. I can see the value in that, but it must be so difficult to maintain that level of focus and presence in the midst of the chaos of daily life. The monk chuckled softly. Ah, yes, that is the true challenge, is it not? To bring the stillness and focus of the monastery into the bustle and demands of the outside world. He leaned forward, his expression turning more serious. But it is a challenge worth taking on, my son, for when we learn to cultivate focus and presence, even amidst the distractions and pressures of our daily lives, we unlock a wellspring of inner peace, clarity, and resilience that can transform our experience of the world. Liam considered the monk's words, feeling a sense of both excitement and trepidation. It sounds almost too good to be true, he admitted. To be able to find that kind of focus and presence, even in the midst of running a business and all the demands of everyday life. The monk nodded. I understand your skepticism, Liam. It is a daunting task, to be sure, but the rewards are immeasurable. Imagine approaching each task, each interaction, each moment with a deep sense of presence and focus. Imagine savoring the simple pleasures of life, without constantly worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. He paused, his eyes sparkling with sincerity. Imagine being able to truly be there for the people you love, to give them your undivided attention and presence. Imagine the clarity and creativity that can arise when your mind is not constantly scattered and distracted. Liam felt a wave of longing wash over him. That sounds like exactly what I need right now, he admitted. I feel like I'm constantly being pulled in a million different directions, and I'm starting to lose sight of what's truly important. The monk nodded sympathetically. I understand, my son. The modern world can be a relentless and unforgiving place, with endless demands on our time and attention. But it is precisely in those moments of overwhelming complexity that the power of focus becomes most crucial. He reached out and placed a weathered hand on Liam's arm. Tell me, Liam, what are the most important things in your life? Liam paused, taken aback by the directness of the question. Well, I suppose the most important things are my business, providing for my family, and maintaining a sense of balance and well-being. The monk nodded. And how often do you feel you are truly able to devote your full attention to those things? Liam sighed heavily. Not often enough, I'm afraid. I'm always so caught up in the day-to-day details and demands that I feel like I'm losing sight of the bigger picture. The monk's gaze was understanding. And therein lies the crux of the matter, my son. When we fail to cultivate focus and presence, we risk becoming slaves to the endless stream of tasks and obligations, rather than masters of our own lives. He leaned back, his expression brightening. But I believe you have the power to change that, Liam. To reclaim your focus, your presence, and in doing so, to rediscover the true essence of what matters most to you. Liam felt a surge of determination. I'm ready to try, to learn how to find that kind of focus and presence in my life. But I'm honestly not sure where to start. The monk smiled warmly. The first step, my son, is simply to be still. To take a moment in the midst of the chaos, to pause and simply breathe. He gestured around the serene monastery. This is where we begin our own practice of focus and mindfulness. By learning to quiet the mind, to let go of our endless thoughts and worries, we open ourselves up to a deeper level of awareness and presence. Liam nodded, feeling a sense of both trepidation and excitement. I can see the value in that, but how do I translate that kind of focus and presence into the demands of my daily life? The monk chuckled softly. Therein lies the true challenge, does it not? To bring the stillness of the monastery into the hustle and bustle of the outside world. He leaned forward, his eyes sparkling with wisdom. But I believe you have the capacity to do it, Liam. By cultivating a regular practice of mindfulness and focus, you can begin to infuse those qualities into every aspect of your life. Liam felt a surge of anticipation. And what might that look like in practical terms? How can I start to implement these principles in my day-to-day life? The monk smiled. Well, let's start with something simple. When was the last time you truly savored your morning coffee? Liam paused, trying to recall. I can't even remember. I usually gulp it down on my way out the door without even really tasting it. The monk nodded knowingly. And that, my son, is where we can begin. The next time you brew a cup of coffee, I challenge you to truly be present with it. Notice the aroma, the texture, the flavor. Savor each sip without thinking about the next item on your to-do list. Liam felt a sense of clarity dawning. You're right, that does seem like a simple enough place to start. And I can see how that kind of focus and presence could then translate to other areas of my life. The monk nodded approvingly. Precisely. Once you've cultivated the habit of being fully present with something as simple as a cup of coffee, you can begin to apply that same level of focus and attention to other aspects of your day. He leaned forward, his expression turning more serious. Perhaps you could try being fully present during your morning routine or when you're greeting your customers at the cafe. Or you could set aside a few minutes each day to sit in quiet contemplation without any distractions or agendas. Liam felt a sense of excitement and trepidation. It sounds like a lot of work, to be honest, but I can see how it could truly transform the way I experience my life. The monk smiled warmly. It is a practice, my son, one that requires patience and dedication, but the rewards are truly profound. Imagine the clarity and focus you could bring to your business decisions, the depth of connection you could have with your loved ones, the sense of inner peace and resilience you could cultivate. He paused, his gaze steady and sincere. And think of the simple joys you might rediscover. The taste of a fresh baked pastry, the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a hug from a dear friend. All of these moments are ours to savor, if only we have the courage to slow down and truly be present. Liam felt a lump rising in his throat. You're right, I've been missing out on so much. I've been so caught up in the endless cycle of doing that I've forgotten how to simply be. The monk nodded, his expression understanding. It is a common affliction in our modern world, my son, but I believe you have the strength and the wisdom to break free from it. All you need to do is take that first step to quiet the mind and open yourself up to the richness of the present moment. Liam felt a surge of determination. Then that's what I'm going to do. I'm ready to start cultivating this kind of focus and presence in my life. I'm tired of feeling scattered and overwhelmed all the time. The monk smiled, his eyes crinkling with warmth. I'm so glad to hear that, Liam, and I'm here to support you on that journey, in whatever way I can. He gestured around the serene monastery. This is a place of peace and contemplation, but its lessons are meant to be taken out into the world. I encourage you to come back here whenever you need a moment of quiet reflection and rejuvenation. Liam nodded, feeling a profound sense of gratitude. Thank you, wise one. I don't know how I would have found my way to this path without your guidance. The monk chuckled softly. Ah, but you did find your way here, my son. And that is the first and most important step. The rest is simply a matter of practice and dedication. He rose to his feet, extending a hand to help Liam up. Now go forth and embrace the power of focus. Bring that presence and clarity into every aspect of your life, and watch as the world around you transforms. Liam grasped the monk's hand, feeling a surge of energy and purpose. I will, wise one. Thank you for opening my eyes to the true value of focus. I won't forget this lesson. Liam left the monastery that day with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The wise old monk's words had struck a chord deep within him, awakening a longing for a deeper level of focus and presence in his life. As he made his way back down the winding path, Liam couldn't help but reflect on the various challenges and distractions that had been weighing him down. The endless to-do lists, the constant worrying about the future, the inability to truly savor the present moment, it all suddenly seemed like such a waste of precious time and energy. No more, Liam said to himself, his resolve hardening with each step. I'm going to reclaim my focus, my mindfulness, my ability to be truly present in my own life. When Liam arrived back at his cafe, he found his employees bustling about, preparing for the day's rush of customers. He took a deep breath, and as he stepped through the doors, he made a conscious effort to slow down, to observe his surroundings with a renewed sense of awareness. He greeted his staff with a warm smile, taking the time to inquire about their well-being and listen to their concerns. As he moved through the space, he noticed the interplay of light and shadow, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, the gentle hum of conversation. It was as if he was seeing and experiencing everything for the first time. Throughout the day, Liam made a concerted effort to maintain this heightened sense of focus and presence. When a customer approached the counter, he gave them his full attention, truly listening to their order and making personalized recommendations. When he sat down to review the books, he resisted the urge to let his mind wander and instead approached the task with a clear, calm mind. During his breaks, Liam would step outside, taking a few moments to simply breathe and observe the world around him. He noticed the gentle breeze, the chirping of birds, the ebb and flow of the village life. It was as if the constant mental chatter that had once filled his mind had been replaced by a tranquil silence, allowing him to fully soak in the richness of the present moment. One day, as Liam was closing up the cafe, he paused to gaze out at the village, bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. He couldn't help but reflect on the journey he had been on, the profound lessons he had learned, and the transformation that had taken place within him. Thank you, wise one, Liam whispered, sending a silent prayer of gratitude to the monk whose words had set him on this path. Your teachings have truly changed my life, and I will carry them with me always.